Mu Kyung thought that mastery in martial arts meant fully understanding your skills and using them freely without any issues. But even he, with his high spiritual level, had only mastered 2 top-tier arts in under 10 days. That was a miracle. He stared at his broken wooden sword in disbelief. I just wanted to train him to fix his bad habits and weak basics, he thought. Who knew he could do the impossible? Apart from a few small flaws in his stance and form, he's almost perfect. His strength, stamina, and speed beat others at his level by far. He watched Jin Tae-kyung, who was sweaty and focusing on his QI. And he's still getting better at an scary fast rate, Mu Kyung thought. It's hard to believe this whiny kid, who only trained to show off muscles to girls, changed so much in less than 3 years. On the other side, Jin Tae-kyung stared at his new skill in confusion. Scroll crafting? Mu Jin thought he's far from being the divine god of war, but it's almost as if he's. The system notice said, with scroll crafting, you can make your own martial scrolls based on the arts you've mastered. Since it was a new skill, he felt excited at first. He scratched his cheek nervously and muttered, but it's pretty useless. Well, better than nothing. Suddenly, Mu Kyung smacked Jin Tae-kyung's head. Why are you spacing out? Jin Tae-kyung winced in pain. Ah, damn. Why do you keep hitting my head? Mu Kyung tossed his broken wooden sword aside. Who said it's okay to look away during a match? Anyway, your training is done. The system pinged, quest pass or fail will depend on Mu Kyung's review. Mu Kyung grunted. You're still far from finished. It took you 10 days just to get here. What a waste of my, he cut off when he saw Jin Tae-kyung's face. Huh? What's with that look? Jin Tae-kyung smirked. What do you mean? Mu Kyung snapped, I'm talking about that dumb face of yours. Jin Tae-kyung hid his joy. He had just seen the system notice, level up. You completed your training. Your reward is in your inventory. He pointed at Mu Kyung and teased, you're 25, but you act like a shy kid. Mu Kyung got mad. What nonsense is that? Jin Tae-kyung laughed. Don't worry. Being a bashful boy at your age is totally fine. Just then, a man stepped into the training arena. Young masters? Mu Kyung had his fist raised to punch Jin Tae-kyung, but he stopped. The man bowed. The lesser family head has summoned you both. At the main building of the lesser family head, Mu Kyung and Jin Tae-kyung arrived. They asked, where do you want us to go? Wai Kyung wanted both of them to head to the Mount Hong Sword sect. They would be important guests at the upcoming summit. Mu Kyung quickly asked, but why do you need us? No, why do you need me to go there? Jin Tae-kyung heard that and glanced at Mu Kyung. Look at this guy trying to wiggle out of it, he thought. Wai Kyung replied, this is because the sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect specifically requested it. Hearing that, both Mu Kyung and Jin Tae-kyung looked confused. The sect leader, they asked. Mu Kyung added, I thought their old sect leader. The bloodhound Lee Chanbik and most of their top martial artists died at the 8th Heavenly Valley. Their second son, Lee Seo-gun, was poisoned to death. I also heard the first son got killed by some mountain bandits a while back. If all that's true, how does the Mount Hong Sword sect still have a sect leader? Shouldn't they have closed their gates? Wai Kyung replied, right now, they are still one of the famous families in Shanxi province. That's why we can't ignore their potential. As long as their sect leader is alive, they can always make a comeback. Jin Tae-kyung asked curiously, their brains. And who is that? Wai Kyung said, their current leader is Lee Seo-woo. Jin Tae-kyung questioned. Lee Seo-woo? Is that the bastard child of Lee Chanbik, or maybe a distant relative? Wai Kyung was speechless for a moment. It seems you don't remember, Jin Tae-kyung quickly replied, huh? Is it someone I should know? Wai Kyung said, the new sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect is a woman. She's the third child of Lee Chanbik and the only sister of the late Lee Seo-gun. Jin Tae-kyung stood there in confusion. Then he suddenly remembered. Lee Seo-gun had once claimed that Jin Tae-kyung ripped off his sister's clothes and tried to rape her. After recalling that, he lost his cool. How is this possible? Mu Kyung asked, you two know each other? Wai Kyung started to reply, so, the request from the newly appointed sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect. Before he could finish, Mu Kyung's face lit up with happiness. He tried to back out of going. But Wai Kyung added, if you go, there will be a practitioner willing to share some of their peak realm martial scrolls. Hearing this, Mu Kyung, a total fanatic for martial scrolls, stopped in his tracks. When should we leave? Wai Kyung replied, immediately. A system notification appeared, yesterday's enemy is today's friend. New quest, now that the truth is out, the Mount Hong Sword sect is no longer your foe but an important ally. You must get to know them. Before the next summit, make sure to bring them to the Jin family of Taiyuan. Jin Tae-kyung thought, this quest isn't too hard, and there's no penalty if I fail. I just need to deliver the invitation letter, and that's it. Even though I'm glad it's so simple for this forced quest, I can't help feeling a bit worried. It's way too easy. Anyway, what's more important is that I can log out during this quest. Jin Tae-kyung smiled happily after reading the notification. He thought, I should finish my contract with Leader Choi and test out my new martial arts. Mu Kyung, sitting in front of him, said, going by carriage should take us a few days to get there. Mu Kyung yelled at the horseman outside. Go faster. A voice from outside replied, first of all, I'm not a horseman. Second, I can't go any faster than this. You probably don't know because you're inside, but it's freezing cold out here. The roads are frozen over, so this is as fast as we can go. Mu Kyung snapped, what? Then if you're not a horseman, why are you sitting there? The voice replied, well, before we left, you told all the traveling attendants to get lost because they were in the way. And it just so happened the real horseman was one of them. Mu-kyung remembered and said, ah. Right. Then who the hell are you? He opened the window and realized it was Hyuk Mu-jin. Mu-kyung quickly closed it. Why didn't you leave with the others? You should have brought the horseman instead. Hyuk Mu-jin replied, I only obey the third young master's orders. Mu-kyung looked at Jin Tae-kyung. Is that so? You two sure get along well. He noticed Jin Tae-kyung and asked, what the hell are you doing? Jin Tae-kyung replied, I'm trying to do QI meditation. Mu-kyung said, what do you mean? It looks like you're trying to sleep. Jin Tae-kyung shouted angrily, I'm trying to circulate my QI. QI meditation. You know what happens if you disturb me, right? Chi deviation, do you understand now? Mu-kyung got mad, stood up, and moved to hit him. But Jin Tae-kyung said, I'm going to start now. Don't disturb me. Jin Tae-kyung closed his eyes, scared he would get beaten again. A few minutes later, he opened them. Mu-kyung was sitting back in his spot, peacefully. Jin Tae-kyung wondered, I don't know if I can trust him with my precious body. Anyhow, it's fine. I'll let it slide this time. Then he thought, anyhow, the time has come. A system notification appeared. Do you want to log out? Yes or no? Jin Tae-kyung said yes to the system. In the real world, in Jin Tae-kyung's room, he suddenly stepped outside because the room was too hot. His body was covered in sweat. As he walked out, he muttered, man, I'm burning up. What a crappy apartment. I need to hurry and move out of this dump. While checking his phone, he thought, since I spent about 20 days in the other world, that means 10 days there is just 1 hour here. Suddenly, his phone rang with a message from Rich Guy. It said, same time and place tomorrow. Please don't forget. After reading it, Jin Tae-kyung remembered their talk. He thought, let's take a shower first. Then he wondered, should I get my rank re-evaluated? The next day at the coffee shop, at the same time, Jin Tae-kyung signed the documents. The system alerted, you have joined the guild piece. You finished signing your guild contract. For this achievement, you gain 10 points. Reading the notification, Jin Tae-kyung thought, I didn't expect this to count as an achievement. He happily handed the documents to Leader Choi. I'll be in your care. Leader Choi took them and said, my pleasure. Then he asked, in any case, didn't you say yesterday that I should raise the terms in your contract? Are you sure you're okay signing it as is? Jin Tae-kyung laughed. I was just messing with you. It's impossible for someone to change that much in just one day, right? He thought about the great deal, a $500. 000 down payment, $50,000 monthly pay, and a 70% claim ratio. Plus, the guild would provide a house and a car. No need to raise suspicion by getting my rank re-evaluated. Leader Choi said, I'll finish processing the contract by tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, Jin Tae-kyung interrupted. Leader Choi looked serious. Yes, Jin Tae-kyung said, please slap my face. I just want to make sure this isn't all a dream. Leader Choi slapped him without hesitation. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked. What the hell? You really slapped me with no pause? Leader Choi said, I'm the type who can't turn down a request. Then he added, in any case, are you awake now? Jin Tae-kyung, angry, replied, yes, I'm most definitely awake. Leader Choi said, that's good to hear. It's always best to meet others when you're feeling fresh. Jin Tae-kyung looked confused. Meet others? What do you mean? Leader Choi smiled happily. Your guild members. Who else? Jin Tae-kyung said, okay then. Leader Choi replied, let's get going. They got in the car. After a few minutes, they reached the place. Leader Choi brought Jin Tae-kyung to meet the other members. Jin Tae-kyung looked around the district where all the top 100 guilds gathered. He thought, the time has come for me to live a luxurious life as a hunter. But then he realized the rundown building was their guild house. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked. Why is there a rundown building here? Leader Choi replied, that's our guild house. After hearing that, Jin Tae-kyung felt disappointed. He thought, even if we're in a top district, if the guild looks this bad, what's the point? Couldn't Leader Choi do better? On his behalf, Leader Choi asked Butler Kim, how much did it cost to buy this place? Butler Kim replied, a little over $2 million. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened. His thoughts changed. Actually, I should just be happy I even got to join this place. Most guilds would never give me this chance. He quickly turned and grabbed Leader Choi's hands with excitement. Both Leader Choi and Butler Kim were shocked by his sudden move. Jin Tae-kyung said, I don't care if our guild house is a small supermarket or a rundown shack. I promise I'll give it my all. Hearing that, Leader Choi replied, confused, sure. I'll be thankful if you do. Suddenly, the plaque on the building fell to the ground. They all looked at it. Leader Choi said, this place will look better with a little remodeling. A person came outside. He looked at the plaque and said, my goodness, it fell down again. After seeing this guy carry the plaque, Jin Tae-kyung asked, Mr. Rough Guy. The rough guy looked at Jin Tae-kyung happily. How have you been? I heard you reached C rank, Jin Tae-kyung said, yeah, I did. Wait, why are you here though? The rough guy set the plaque aside and laughed. What do you mean? Is it wrong for a guild member to be at the guild house? Then he added, while I was recovering in the hospital, Leader Choi came and asked if I'd join his guild. He didn't have to say it twice. I accepted right away. Leader Choi interrupted, that's because I can tell you're a trustworthy person. Jin Taekyung quickly said, wait, then did you just join this guild? The rough guy smiled. Yep. He may be young, but he's a good man. Mr. Kim might be quiet, but he's also. Jin Taekyung looked confused at both of them. Then have you met the other guild members? It's not just the four of us, right? The rough guy said, of course not. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung smiled. Phew. That's good too. The rough guy looked to his left. Oh. Speak of the devil. Miss Song. Over here. We got a new recruit. Jin Taekyung turned that way too. Leader Choi said, including Miss Song, it's 5 of us in total. Miss Song carried some bags and said, hi there. You guys came earlier than I thought. Leader Choi and Butler Kim took the bags from her. Leader Choi asked, why did you buy so much? I already reserved a place for us to eat. Miss Song replied, why go there? It's expensive and doesn't give much food. I think it'll be better if we cook our own meal. The rough guy rushed toward Miss Song, excited. She bought alcohol and meat. Jin Taekyung stood in place, disappointed. It's only the 5 of us. That evening, their tiny guild had a welcoming party for him. During dinner, Jin Taekyung learned a few things. First, Miss Song was the only woman and the only healer in the guild. Second, to his surprise, the guild master was Butler Kim. Before retiring, he was a famous high-level magician who fought in the Great War era. He still had plenty of power. Third, the top guild was the legendary Ares Guild, the strongest one that rose during the Great War. Butler Kim, Leader Choi, and Miss Song were top elites. They had all been in Ares before. Lastly, the day after the party would be the Peace Guild's first raid. They all sat in the car, heading to their destination. Leader Choi passed a tablet to Jin Taekyung. It was an enchanted tablet powered by C-rank magic ores. Because of that, only a few VIP elites could own one. Jin Taekyung asked, but why are you showing this to me? Leader Choi had uploaded footage of the raid they planned for today. Jin Taekyung clicked on it. In the video, they said, alright, let's take it slow, guys, especially the tank. Keep your shields up at all times. If they get past you, we're all in danger. I mean, you'll die by my hand before then, if that happens. The others laughed and replied, yes, sir. Then, as for the archers and mages, focus on one target when I give the signal. They replied, yes, sir. Sounds good. After watching the video and hearing their talk, Jin Taekyung thought, they have 4 tanks, some close-range fighters, some long-range damage dealers, and even healers. Their team setup looks solid. In the video, they said, we're here. Get into formation. Leader Choi added, that's right. The gate we're hitting today is B rank. The Hunters Association calls it the Labyrinth of the Minotaurs. On the video, cow-like monsters appeared. They carried heavy weapons and roared. Jin Taekyung watched the video closely. In it, multiple flying arrows hit the Minotaurs. The beasts got angry and attacked with full force. The tanks barely blocked the blows. One Minotaur faced attacks from different sides, a fireball struck its face, and a hunter slashed it with a sword from left and right. Both the Minotaur and the hunter fought hard. The furious Minotaur swung its shaped blade at every hunter in its path. Even the hunter recording the video got attacked, and the feed cut off. Curious, Jin Taekyung asked Leader Choi what happened next. Leader Choi replied, from the footage, there were 5 B-rank hunters and 10 C-rank hunters. They wiped out the Minotaurs, but 2 hunters died. The rough guy looked scared after the video. This place seems dangerous. Is it really okay for me to go? My gear isn't the best, it got destroyed in our last raid. Leader Choi said, don't worry. I've already picked gear that fits your role. The rough guy asked in surprise, really? As expected of our leader, Leader Choi started. Hunter M's gear set was made by North America's top engineer, Nicholas W.H. The rough guy cut in, since you picked it, it'll be great. Thanks. I'll use it well. After putting on their new gear, everyone looked happy and chatted about how well it suited them. Jin Taekyung asked Butler Kim, what about your gear? Leader Choi quickly said, I told you to call him Guild Master. Butler Kim showed his gear, which he always wore. In the Peace Guild, 2 B-rank hunters, 2 C-rank hunters, and 1 E-rank hunter. In the Sangdong Guild, 5 B-rank hunters and 5 C-rank hunters. Total, 15 hunters. The field manager said, I'm sure you're aware, but the raid rate for this B-rank gate is set. Peace Guild will team up with Sangdong Guild, which has 5 B-rank and 5 C-rank hunters. The officer added, due to last week's deaths, the Hunters Association has added stricter rules for safety. We've increased the number of hunters needed to enter. That's why this is a joint raid. He introduced, this is Chang Su-kang, leader from Sangdong Guild. Butler Kim greeted, I'm Kim Hwa-jong, Guild Master of Peace Guild. Jin Taekyung thought, Sangdong Guild is famous in the Ban District. They have 20 B-rank hunters. But a young guy like him is their team leader? He used his chi sensation and realized Chang Su was strong. Chang Su glanced at Miss Song, and she noticed. Jin Taekyung wondered, why does his name sound familiar? Where have I heard it before? Chang Su winked with a smile. After greetings, he turned away. Miss Song thought, what was that just now? The field manager said. Oh, right, I forgot to mention. The 2 hunters who died last week were C-rank tanks. Since you have an E-rank filling in as a tank, I hope that won't cause issues. The rough guy choked in shock. The Peace Guild master said humbly, this man has been a hunter for over 20 years. He's a veteran. We've given him good gear, so there won't be problems on our side. The field manager replied, I see. Being a veteran has its perks. He glanced at Chang Su, who nodded. Then the manager laughed. All right, sounds good. With 7 B-rank hunters here, there won't be any trouble. Team leaders, control your guild members well. Leader Choi whispered to the rough guy, looks like we're clear. Jin Taekyung thought, control us, the field manager gave permission, you may enter the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. One by one, they stepped through the gate. Jin Taekyung entered and noticed, B-rank gates are huge. The rough guy followed, surprised by the inside. Soon, the system alerted, you have entered the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. Your quest to clear a B-rank gate has begun. Leader Choi said, before we go further, let's check our gear. Jin Taekyung checked his, then opened his command menu for the quest. The system showed, you entered a B-rank gate for the first time. Clear it for rewards and bonuses. Jin Taekyung smiled and thought, this quest isn't bad at all. While he checked, Chang Su asked, what are you doing over there? Jin Taekyung looked left, confused. Why is he here? Chang Su said. You're Jang Taekyung from Peace Guild, right? It's Jin Taekyung, he corrected. Chang Su mispronounced it again. Jin Taekyung got annoyed. Do you need something? Chang Su walked closer. Now that I'm near, I see it's the Black Drake armor set. On the other side, Leader Choi held his shaped blade, watching them talk. The other guild leader laughed. Then a man whispered to Chang Su, and he left. Jin Taekyung stood still, staring. Leader Choi approached. Do you know him? Nope. He just started talking. Are you sure he wasn't scouting you? Jin Taekyung pointed to his gear. I think he's a gear geek like you. He asked where I got it. Leader Choi looked serious. That man. Why? Something wrong? He's wearing limited edition gear. That armor is hard to get. Jin Taekyung got mad. You two really like messing with me. Members of Chang Su's guild asked, Hyung, why talk to that weak guy? I felt like it. He had decent gear. Damn, you're right. Did he say it was his? Chang Su gritted his teeth. Use your brain, idiot. Do you think a C rank like him owns that? He's probably renting it. Crazy. The interest must be huge. He laughed, who cares? He's just trying to survive. How cute. He thought, a no-name guild shows up with top gear. I was curious. I bribed the gate operator to kick them out, but I let them join. That girl is my type Song, right? With power and money, picking up girls on raids is easy. But I need to get rid of that sleazy tank first. And that weak C rank, I'll take his gear. He smirked lustfully. Wait for me, my Song, Leader Choi said, alright, let's move, yes, sir. The rough guy replied. In the deep cave, only one minotaur appeared. It looked at them and said, oh. There it is, but wait, there's only one? After seeing just one minotaur, Chang Su's teammate smiled at him and said, looks like we won't need the ranged DPS to help us kill that bastard, Chang Su Hyung. Chang Su replied, then hurry up and get to it. All the members from High Mountain hid themselves and watched the minotaur. One teammate, Hyrin, said, I'll be right back. I will kill this monster. Another said, whoever suffers the least injuries buys tonight's drinks. Alright, suddenly, Hyrin noticed and watched another minotaur come out of the cave. He said, that one looks smaller than the first. You can kill it, since it seems weaker. The other guy replied, looks like there are 2 of them now. Behind them, the guy holding the sharp blade said, what are you talking about? Stop trying to act tough. He had a crazy smile on his face. Again, Hyrin noticed something and said, wait a second, there are more than 2 minotaurs. The leader, Chang Sun, thought, there's 8 of them now. They started facing 8 minotaurs. When Leader Choi asked Jin Taekyung for his opinion, Jin Taekyung replied, I'm not sure, but I think it'll be pretty difficult for 4 people to take care of 8 minotaurs. Leader Choi asked again, what about you? Jin Taekyung was silent for a moment. He thought, the minotaurs are B-rank monsters, and their levels range from mid to late 50s. That's like second-rate warriors? No, more like first-rate warriors. If this was the Murim world, fighting them would be troublesome. Then he looked at his gear and thought, since I'm wearing this ridiculously overpowered gear, I can do it. Before he could finish thinking, he noticed Leader Choi staring at him from the right, still waiting for a reply. Jin Taekyung nervously said, I'm not too sure, huh? Leader Choi questioned, you're not too sure? Interesting. Most C-rank hunters would never give that kind of answer. They'd flat out reject or not even consider the idea I just asked about. I've always felt this, but you truly are a peculiar man, Mr. Jin Taekyung. Jin Taekyung nervously replied, that's not it, team leader. That wasn't the point I was trying to make. Before he could say more, a voice from behind said, you're absolutely correct. The more I hear him talk, the funnier he gets. It was Chang Su with a mad smile. He said, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation since it was quite humorous. I hope you guys don't mind. Then there was a moment of silence. Chang Su thought, damn dumbass. Not only did he ask a C-rank hunter about killing 8 minotaurs, but the C-rank himself couldn't give a clear answer? He looked at Song Song and thought, looks like this is a good chance for me to get rid of them both. I'll make sure to humiliate them in front of Song Song. Leader Choi stepped forward and said, it was a simple question. No harm intended. Chang Su stopped and said, who cares if that's the case? With a smug expression, he pointed and said, my guys over there are pretty weak. People might praise them for being B-ranks, but among all the B-rank hunters out there, they are on the lower end. However, they are still far better than a C-rank hunter, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Jin Taekyung? He smiled. Jin Taekyung replied, yes. Of course, Mr. Shit Chang-soo. Hearing that, everyone kept silent. They didn't expect it. Chang-soo asked, what did you just say? He was mad and said, did you lose your mind? Jin Taekyung, controlling his anger, said, what about it, you damn bastard? How many times do I have to tell you that my name is Jin Taekyung? Chang-soo got even madder and reminded him, we are inside a gate. Jin Taekyung replied, no shit, you bastard. Chang-soo got more frustrated and said, so, if you truly care about your life, I suggest you shut your mouth right now. Jin Taekyung, still controlling his anger, replied, oh? Is that supposed to be a threat? I'm literally shaking in fear, Mr. Shit Chang-soo. While they argued, Mr. Butler stepped in to calm them down. Song Song said, hey, now is not the time for this. Chang-soo immediately changed his attitude and said, yes, you're right. I'll let it slide for today. It wouldn't look good for the renowned Sangdong Guild to have a petty fight with a low-ranking hunter. Again, Chang-soo called out, oi, Jang Taekyung. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung got angry and shouted, you still going to keep this up? But Butler Kim held him back. Chang-soo said, looks like you're feeling cocky with that gear you have. So why don't we do this instead? He raised his hand, showing 5 fingers, and said, $500,000. I will give you $500,000 per kill if you can solo that Minotaur herd. It'll be a total of $4 million. I'll even let you keep all the monster drops. What do you think? Hearing that, everyone was surprised. $4 million? Jin Taekyung said in disbelief, you're seriously going to give me that much money? For whole $1 million? Chang-soo smiled and said, giving it to you? Of course not. He added, this is a bet. If you die or run from the fight, the bet is off. And to make it fun, let's say Miss Song Song joins the Sangdong Guild if you lose. Jin Taekyung yelled in anger, what kind of nonsense are you talking? Leader Choi asked Song Song what she thought. Song Song said, to be honest, I hate greedy playboys, so he's not my type. But I don't hate the Sangdong Guild, Chang-soo thought to himself, she's just like I pictured. But once you join my guild, it's not easy to leave. Leader Choi stepped in and said, fine, let me join this bet too. The higher the stakes, the more exciting, right? I'm betting $4 million that Mr. Jin Taekyung will kill all 8 Minotaur warriors. Chang-soo laughed and said, what a crazy guy you are. One's excited to die, and the other's too eager to throw away money. Then Leader Choi turned to Jin and said, we're waiting for your answer, Mr. Jin Taekyung. What will it be? Jin Taekyung asked, but what if I lose? Leader Choi said with confidence, no. You'll win. Jin Taekyung accepted the bet. Hook Jun was the only one worried about him. The other team members seemed blinded by their greed for cash. Hook Jun thought, you guys should value your lives more than risking them for money. I have to stop this. He ran fast to stop Jin Taekyung, but before he could reach him, Jin had already moved. Hook Jun said, when did he get over there? Wait, this is bad. The Minotaur looked at Jin Taekyung as he came closer. Waving his spear, Jin said, it's my first time fighting cow monsters. He charged at the Minotaur, which roared and attacked back. In the next second, with one swing, Taekyung killed a Minotaur. Seeing that one blow take it down shocked the rough guy. Song Song was surprised, but Leader Choi and Butler Kim smiled. The other guild members were shocked too. After killing the Minotaur, Jin Taekyung smiled and said, this isn't as hard as I thought. At that moment, Chang-soo thought, shit. There goes my $4 million. Jin Taekyung quickly attacked the other Minotaurs with his spear. He cut one down in a flash. Then, using his speed, he took out 3 more, then 4, then 5. After catching his breath, he used his hand aura to rip apart parts of another Minotaur, bringing his count to 6 and 7. He dashed forward again, jumping to strike the next one with his spear. This time, the Minotaur blocked with its blade. But Jin Taekyung's shaped spear cut the sword in 2 and felled the beast. He had now taken down 8 Minotaurs. He took a deep breath and laughed. Time for me to enjoy my delicious payment, he said. A system notification appeared, you have leveled up. Soon, they learned that Chang-soo was the son of the Sangdong Guildmaster. Due to losing the bet, Chang-soo knelt on the ground. The Peace Guild members stared at him. The rough guy said, no wonder you're loaded with money. After learning who Chang-soo was, Jin Taekyung teased him. Who cares if you're the son of the Sangdong Guildmaster? You're only 25. Do you think it's okay to disrespect your seniors? Answer me, Chang-soo gritted his teeth, holding back his anger. Sorry, he muttered. Jin Taekyung remembered something. I wondered why your name sounded familiar. So that's you. A Hyung I know told me about you. As the Sangdong Guildmaster's son and a B-rank hunter, you got a leadership spot in your dad's guild. But you're the black sheep of the family. All you do is chase girls. The Sangdong Guild hunters nearby heard this. One thought, Chang Soo-hyung hates when people call him out like that. Jin Taekyung kept teasing. That's why your nickname is Greedy Piggy, right? Mr. Song burst out laughing. Chang Soo gritted his teeth harder, frustrated. He reached for his sword. You damn bastard. Before he could act, Jin Taekyung kicked him. Chang Soo's sword flew away. Jin Taekyung pressed his spear to Chang Soo's neck and said coldly, we're inside a gate, you little shit. That's what you said earlier. Did you forget? Chang Soo surrendered. He had no choice. Sorry, he said. Jin Taekyung kept the spear at his neck. Then show it. Chang Soo said nervously, okay, wait, what? Jin Taekyung replied, you just drew your weapon on me. Don't you know the laws about attempted murder? That's why I'm telling you to sincerely apologize to me and my guildmates. Chang Su didn't get it. He looked away. What do you mean? His teammates pretended not to see anything, looking nervous. Chang Su glared at Jin Taekyung with anger. Butler Kim sighed. To think the team leader of the Sangdong Guild would draw his weapon on us. That's shameful. He put a hand on his forehead. Mr. Song laughed and said to the rough guy, I guess he does want to pay up after losing the bet. Wow, Chang Su is such a scum, right? Wouldn't you agree, mister? The rough guy replied, oh yeah, what a rotten kid he is, Leader Choi spoke up. Okay, everyone, look at this. He pointed to his chest and showed a device. This is a high-quality armor set made by a famous crafter in Finland. It gives special powers, and it's enchanted with recording magic, Chang Su muttered, shit. Fine, I'll do it, Jin Taekyung asked. Do what? Chang Su replied, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Outside the cave, minotaur bodies lay scattered. The Peace Guild headed inside, chatting among themselves. Chang Su and his team followed behind. As they walked, Chang Su thought, who the hell is this guy? He's definitely not a C-rank hunter. No C-rank could wipe out 8 minotaurs alone. Did he use doping drugs? Or is he a false ranker? I'll find out the truth once we leave this gate. 2 Sangdong Guild members stepped forward. One asked their team leader, Chang Su, are you okay? The other added, are you hurt anywhere? Chang Su shouted angrily, shut up, you shitty bastards. How dare you sit back and not help? Disloyal idiots. Get out of my sight. You're all expelled from the guild when we get out. Sweat broke out on their faces. One said, no, that's not it. We just couldn't find the right moment to step in. Please forgive us. They whispered among themselves. Who will accept us if we get kicked out of Sangdong? I have bills to pay this month. The girl ran up and grabbed Chang Su. Please reconsider. The others added, we'll do whatever you want this time. Please, Hyung. Chang Su stopped walking. Anything? I didn't hear that wrong, right? The Sangdong members froze for a moment. Then Chang Su told his teammates, we're about to enter the boss zone. The boss is the legendary Minotaur warrior. It's a B-rank monster, but its strength matches an A rank. Even if Jin Taekyung is strong, I doubt he can handle it alone. That's when we'll strike. Soon, Son, it's unfortunate, but it has to be done. You guys can handle the healer. Right? If one of his guildmates is in danger, Jin Taekyung won't focus on his fight. Their guild master is a B-rank magician, weak up close. Their A-rank tank is no threat. The real danger is Choi Min-woo. I'll deal with him myself. Don't let me down, you know what happens if you fail, his teammates replied, of course. Just trust us, team leader. Soon, Jin Taekyung yelled, hey. We're at the boss zone. Get your asses over here. Chang Su turned quickly. Yes, sir. He smiled darkly to himself. Jin Taekyung, get ready for the consequences of humiliating me. In the next second, Jin Taekyung unleashed one strike. The boss fell. The system alert rang, you have eliminated the LV. 70 legendary Minotaur warrior, Taekyung wiped his brow. Phew, you gotta go out with a bang in gates like this. To his teammates, he said, hurry and collect the loot. Let's leave, I'm starving. He looked at the others. What's wrong with you guys? They were all shocked by the one-strike kill. The rough guy asked, surprised, you're seriously asking us that? Leader Choi added, also stunned, I had no idea you were this capable. Do you have time to talk about it after the raid? Jin Taekyung replied nervously, yes, later. Before Ms. Song could speak, he noticed something. What the hell are you guys doing over there? The 2 Sangdong members behind Mr. Song raised their hands, bodies shaking. Nothing. We're just standing here. Jin Taekyung looked at Chang Su. What's with your face? You hurt somewhere? Chang Su's body shook after seeing the strike. I'm feeling a little tired right now. He thought in fear, he's a monster. Nothing good will come from messing with him, Jin Taekyung said, drink your potion. Aren't you supposed to be rich? Chang Su stayed silent for a moment. Then Jin Taekyung added, anyway, hurry up and collect the loot. I'm tired. Outside the gate, the gatekeeper saw the loot pile and said, that's a lot of materials. Did you kill all the minotaurs in the labyrinth or something? How do you want to handle this loot? As you know, you have 2 options, sell it yourselves or hand it to a vendor. Before he could finish, the butler told the officer, we'll sell all the loot to the supervising agency. Jin Taekyung pulled Chang Su aside. Remember to send the funds tomorrow. Chang Su replied, yes, sir. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung smiled happily. As expected of a rich boy. Here's my account number. Transfer the money there tomorrow. If you don't, it won't be fun for anyone. Got it? Now go. Take care. Chang Su left, feeling ashamed. Hakjun asked Jin Taekyung, do you really think he'll pay? Jin Taekyung replied, and what do you think will happen if he doesn't? The rough guy said, I mean, what can you do? The Sangdong Guild is famous and has a lot of power. If he sues you or presses charges, Jin Taekyung cut in smartly, come on, we have proof of everything he did to us. The rough guy turned slowly. He could destroy the evidence. Jin Taekyung said, I'm only pushing this because I've heard some rumors from people. Taekyung asked, what kind of rumors? It's about Chang Su's guild master. His nickname is Frozen. He's an A-rank hunter and a mage who played a big role in the Great Catastrophe. He was one of the few mages good at systematic freezing magic, that's how he got the name. Instead of retiring after the catastrophe, he started the Sangdong Guild. But Buchan province already had big guilds, so it was tough for a new one to survive. The only reason Sangdong is still around is because Chana wiped out all the rivals by himself. That's when rumors of his cruelty started. So, what do you think would happen if a man like that found out about today? About the 4 million bet he lost? A total of $8 million were transferred. Could he really ignore the shame and humiliation to his only son? On the other side, the Sangdong Guild master sat in a chair, thinking about the 8 million. After hearing everything, he got angry. Which whore was it this time? The door opened. The guild master noticed. Soon, a man said, Master Chanu, I've brought him. He pushed Chang Su forward. Chang Su said fearfully, Father, let me explain. Chanu replied, all right. It seems you're finally here. He used his freezing aura to form a weapon in his hand. I have a lot of questions. But first, let me knock some sense into you. Chang Su quickly said, no, father, just give me some time. His father yelled angrily, shut the hell up, you brat. Then he beat him with the weapon. Painful cries echoed. In the afternoon, at a restaurant in the marketplace, people sat eating and talking. Jin Taekyung's mom picked up dirty plates to clean the tables. She was tired from all the work and sweating. Suddenly, the restaurant doorbell rang. After the customer entered, his mom noticed and turned. Welcome. Before she could say more, it was Jin Taekyung, her son, standing there. He greeted her happily. She was surprised to see him. He showed them his bank account, with $4 million transferred in. His mom and sister stared at the amount in shock. They couldn't believe it. He said, I'm earning a lot of money these days. He wished his mom could rest, no need for her to keep working at the restaurant. I just want you and Hyen to live safe, happy lives, he told them. I know you've refused my money because you don't want to burden me. But I won't rest easy if you turn down my help, Mom. He pointed to his sister too. Stop staying up so late studying. Take better care of your body. Then he noticed something. What's wrong with your face? Are you hurt? Suddenly, Hyen said, I have a high fever right now. They sent me home early from school. It's okay, though, summer break starts tomorrow, so I just need to study a bit more. Jin Taekyung shouted, what? Did you even see a doctor? Her mom checked her forehead. Hyen replied, I did. I'm taking the prescribed medicine. Jin Taekyung wondered, I know it's expensive, but a famous healer or high-quality potion would fix her fast. Why are they holding back like this? Even basic chi circulation could help instantly. Suddenly, he realized something. Then Taekyung asked his sister to hold out her hands. She said angrily, what the hell are you doing? Why are you holding my hands? It's kind of gross. Before she finished, Jin Taekyung said, just stay still. He thought, will it work? The chi meditation activated in his stomach, then flowed to his hands and into his sister's. She noticed it and asked nervously, what is this? Jin Taekyung thought, it's working. He recalled, the Jin family's cultivation technique has a slower speed, but it builds an extremely strong and stable internal core. That's why I'm sure Hyen will be able to control it too, he blinked and teased her. It's going to hurt a bit. But just endure it. Okay, she asked in shock and disbelief. What? More chi energy flowed into her body. An hour passed. Both breathed heavily, then the system notification appeared. You have successfully completed your chi transfer. Your chi has improved slightly. After that, she checked her fever, it was completely gone. She shouted happily, brother, what did you just do? Jin Taekyung took deep breaths and replied, let's just say you were cured with an extremely powerful oriental healing technique. Anyhow, how are you feeling? She explained. After the recovery finished, it hurt at first. But after some time, I felt relief. My body feels lighter, and my headache is gone. How do I explain it? I guess it's like all the bad energies from my body got flushed out? I don't know if that makes sense, Jin Taekyung thought, that's pretty accurate. Then they smelled the flushed energies coming from her. He said, alright, sure. Hurry and wash up, you reek, she looked at herself. But I took a shower this morning. What do you? He suddenly realized the flushed energies and ran to the shower. Seeing her like this, Jin Taekyung thought, where else would the 19 years of turbid energy in your body go? It all got pushed out through your pores. At this rate, you should start to feel something else coming out your, there we go, it's begun. Jin Taekyung's mom looked at Hyen and said, oh my goodness. When I was younger, I had some experience with oriental medicine, but not to this extent. Her skin looks so clear now. Jin Taekyung smiled and showed his hands. The effects aren't bad, right? Do you want to try it, Mom? His mom said, should I? My digestion has been pretty bad these days. Maybe I should. Suddenly, they heard Hyen's voice. More flushed energies released from her body. Before they could try again, she screamed. Her mom quickly put her hand down in fear. Jin Taekyung said, let's do this after Hyen gets out of the bathroom. Her mom nodded. All right. They only had one bathroom in the house, Jin Taekyung shouted into his phone. What? A 1-week break? The voice on the phone confirmed, that's correct. After hearing that, Jin Taekyung thought, a 1-week break? Did something happen with the guild? While walking on the road, he asked into the phone, you guys didn't get in trouble with the Sangdong Guild, right? Leader Choi replied, Sangdong Guild? Jin Taekyung reminded him, well, there was that incident with Chang-su, Leader Choi said, there's no need to worry about that. We're remodeling the guild right now. It should be done in about a week. Jin Taekyung thought, thank God nothing happened. Then he said, but what does remodeling have to do with raiding? Leader Choi added, I still want some work to do. Leader Choi replied, I'll see you in a week. But Jin Taekyung said, I know you told me to take a break, but I think, before he finished, he saw a shop ahead. I'm hanging up now. I have some work to do. Leader Choi said, okay. Jin Taekyung put his phone away. He opened the shop gate and entered. An old man sitting at a desk saw him. Jin Taekyung said, I'm here to look for some houses. On the other side, after finishing the call with Jin Taekyung, Leader Choi put his phone down. Butler Kim, sitting on the couch, asked, what did he say? Leader Choi, standing by the table, replied, it seems he was pretty worried about the issues with the Sangdong Guild. Butler Kim smiled. He's quite an interesting young man. Even though he acts without much thought, his senses are sharp. Leader Choi remembered when he first met Jin Taekyung. He was just a clueless F-rank hunter back then, but he had soloed a B-rank gate all by himself last time. I had some suspicions, but this just confirms it. Jin Taekyung is a hunter who keeps getting stronger and at an extremely fast pace. Leader Choi said, Butler Kim. He replied, yes, young master. Leader Choi asked, do you think you can find any information on hunters who received a third awakening? Butler Kim looked shocked. Excuse me?